It's 3 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down on the nightstand because you promised yourself you wouldn't check it. But the real answer to why you're awake right now is far stranger than stress or screens or too much coffee. Your ancestors were awake at 3 a.m. too, on purpose. For most of human history, sleep didn't look like one long block. It looked like two. The historian Roger Ekirch spent over a decade digging through old diaries and court records, and he found the same phrase again and again. First sleep, second sleep. People would go to bed a few hours after sunset, sleep for a few hours, then simply wake up. Not in a panic. They'd pray, talk, tend a low fire, or interpret the dream they'd just had. Ekirch calls this quiet middle hour the watch. For centuries it was normal. Then artificial light arrived, bedtimes crept later, and the two sleeps got squeezed into one. Segmented sleep didn't vanish because it was unhealthy. It vanished because the sun stopped deciding when the world went dark. Here's where it gets stranger. If segmented sleep was once universal, shouldn't it still exist somewhere without electricity? The neuroscientist Jerome Siegel wanted to know. In 2015, he studied 3 pre-industrial societies with no clocks and no electricity. And the twist nobody expected? They didn't sleep in 2 segments either. They slept in one block under 6.5 hours a night, often staying up late around a fire before finally lying down. So which is real? Both. Human sleep was never one fixed pattern. It bent around whatever environment your ancestors lived in. Cold, dark European winters produced 2 sleeps. Short equatorial nights produced 1. Your brain isn't broken for not matching either pattern perfectly. It's doing what it has always done, adjusting to the light around it. Which brings us to why your actual Walker, the sleep researcher, has studied what happens when modern life strips away the cues your body once relied on. No real darkness, no temperature dip, because your thermostat holds steady all night. No dimming light before bed, because your ceiling fixture is as bright at 9 as it is at noon. Your body is still running ancient software. It's just missing the signals that software was built to read. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin almost as effectively as sunlight does. Your brain cannot tell the difference between the sun and your phone. It just sees light and says, "Not yet." There's one more piece. The Harvard researcher Charles Czeisler found that your internal clock isn't actually 24 hours. Left alone, it drifts. It needs daily correction from sunlight and darkness, or it slowly floats away from the world around it. That 3 a.m. waking isn't a malfunction. It's an old, patient system checking in with an environment that no longer answers clearly. So what actually changed isn't the waking. It's what happens next. Your ancestors woke into total darkness and simply stayed there until sleep pulled them back down on its own. You wake into a room full of tiny glowing invitations, and one glance turns your ancient watch hour into an hour of scrolling that convinces your brain dawn is somehow rising at 3 a.m. So next time you're lying there awake, try a different question. Not, "Why can't I sleep?" But what would this hour have looked like 10,000 years ago? Tonight, when you wake up at 3 a.m., you won't flip a switch. You'll do something far older instead. You'll just lie there in the dark and let your ancestors' watch begin.